Hello and welcome everybody to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today, I'm going to be bringing to you some games from the NASL Season 2. I know it has been just a little while since I last cast any games, and I have to apologize because the last time I did cast games, I did say that I would be casting more games. I promised you more games, but that just didn't happen, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why because I moved home to San Francisco, and let me tell you, on vacation time, it is hard to find a time when people aren't home. There are just people home all the time making lots of noise, and my computer has to be out in the living room so that I can be right near the router, because otherwise I just don't get internet on my computer, and then I can't play wonderful games of StarCraft. So I have to find times when people aren't home. Right now I'm doing these casts and it is currently like midnight right now. Just because everybody have already gone to bed, I'll probably be loud and be keeping everyone awake for just a little while here. But no matter, I have StarCraft 2 games to cast, and tomorrow everybody goes back to work, so I get to start casting while everyone is at work, and this should be absolutely fantastic. More and more uploads coming this week. I promise I'm going to try to do a lot of NASL Season 2 games. For those of you that missed it, a lot of them for some reason have not made YouTube. Even though NASL Season 2 happened quite a while ago, if you didn't watch it live, you probably didn't see a lot of the videos, because I was looking on YouTube and I couldn't really find a whole lot of the casts up there at all. Like, nobody's casted the games, even though the replays have been out since Christmas. So, I'm going to be casting a collection of NASL Season 2 replays, starting with this one. Spawning in the bottom right position as the purple Zerg playing from Team Liquid, we have Sheth. His opponent today spawning in the bottom left position of Crevasse as the green Terran playing from Team Evil Geniuses, we have Puma. Now this is going to be one of the matches from the first day of the NASL Season 2 Grand Finals. These are the ones actually played at the stadium in Anaheim, California, or no, excuse me, Ontario, California. I did actually go there to watch these, so I have actually seen all these games before, but it has been a little while, so I don't remember exactly what happened in each of these games, but I am going to be finding it out as we go along. So, GSL Crevasse, this is one map, or actually, I'm not sure if they're actually using the GSL version. I'm pretty sure this is the GSL version. I could be wrong on that one, though. I'll have to check up that one right after this. On this version of the map, in these spawning locations, I would say these are pretty good, even spawning locations. There is, we don't really have close by air positions or close by ground positions necessarily. I mean, this is about as close ground positions as you can get on this map, as they have spawned on the same side of the map. Both are on the lower side of the map. The longest distances you can get on this map, of course, are cross positions. So the fact that they are close by ground could mean a little bit, but this is still a really big map. Even though it looks like, oh, they're both here on the side of the map, if you look at like things like, let's see, let's find an Overlord. Somewhere on here, there should be an Overlord. There we go. If you look at the Overlord on the minimap, look at how tiny that thing is. This map is actually decently sized. It is possible to rush, but not as likely and not as commonly done. And as we can see, Sheth has actually gone for a very fast expansion here at what's normally the third base here of Crevasse. Crevasse does have this one base contained within the main. It's a smaller base, though. It only has one Rich Vespene Geyser, and it has 6 mineral patches here. And they do have a full 1,500 minerals in this version of the map. But it looks like Sheth wants to really go for all the resources that he can get, as he is going straight for that third base. Now, Puma did scout this base. He does know that that base is coming on up, and he's now actually taking a base of his own in his own main. So he's actually going to be taking the smaller expansion here, and knowing that his opponent went for this very fast expansion here that's much more exposed, then he might try to take advantage of that. We are going to have to see. It looks like he already is moving out with a pack of Marines here. Only 4 Marines currently out on the field. In the base of Puma right now, we do have a barracks up. We do have a factory up as well. There is a reactor coming down on this barracks. Most likely going to be swapping that factory onto that reactor so that he can start double producing those Hellions. This is very common opening for Terran players, because a lot of Terran players find that they need to put some pressure on their opponent. It's very hard to play against a Zerg who is just left alone. A Zerg that is left alone usually does and should start expanding all over the map, because if there is no pressure, keep building lots and lots of drones, get tons and tons of drones, get right up to that 70 drone count that Zerg players really want to get to, and get lots of bases up and running so that they have a huge economy to surge forward with lots of units in the mid game. So most Terran players find that they're going to have to find a way to put pressure on their opponent, either by early bunker rushes, by doing lots of early Hellion attacks, maybe even Banshee attacks, as we can see that there is a starport now coming down here for Puma right now, producing one Viking right now. A tech lab has been put onto this barracks nearby, is now researching stim as well. It is possible that he might wait for a little while and go for some kind of delayed Banshee after these Hellions move out and try to do some damage. Might come in with a Banshee in the back as well, depending on how much damage he does with that. We can see that his main is pretty well saturated. His natural's getting there. He's got quite a few SCVs mining there, but he's continuing to produce more. 4 Hellions now out on the map, moving towards his opponent's base. In the base of Sheth right now, we do have an evolution chamber coming down. 1 spine up at the natural, still mining a lot of minerals. He has just now started to get guys back on gas. Layer tech is now up. Zergling speed is completed as well. But Sheth's still focusing mostly on getting lots and lots of drones up. Did he actually... Oh no, did I actually just do that? I just rewound the replay by 20 seconds or so. So we are just going to speed that right back up, go right back to where we were. And I am actually going to check very briefly. No, Sheth has actually no idea what is coming here from Puma. So doesn't know that those Hellions are going to be on the way, but those Hellions are moving out all around the map, taking out these Zerglings on the Xel'Naga watchtowers, denying Sheth of any kind of vision. So Sheth is now going to be aware that these Hellions are on the map. How is he going to be reacting to that? As we can see, he has thrown down a few more gas geysers. This is a very common gas timing for lots of Zerg players. A lot of Zerg players will just stick on one gas, get up their Zergling speed, start to get up that extractor, and get up that extractor, get up that Zergling speed, maybe pull off guys off of gas for a little while to be able to get up an expansion. Then once you get that up and running, throw guys back on gas, and with your next 100 gas, you start getting up that layer tech, instantly throw down 3 more extractors, because once you get that layer tech up, there are a lot of very gas heavy units like Mutalisks. You can also start to go very heavy on upgrades. You start to need a lot of gas, so you want to start collecting it early, like right when you start that layer timing. Very, very common timing for a lot of Zerg players. We do see a third hatchery is now coming down here for Sheth. Looks like he is getting ready for any kind of drop plays, placing some Zerglings out here, keeping, I think there was a small group that were out and around. There we go. There are a few here, trying to prevent any kind of run-bys, even keeping a couple of Banelings up on the high ground if the Hellions try to zoom up there. They will take a lot of damage. We do see that 2 medevacs have been loaded up here by Puma, and they are going to be moving into the third, but Sheth being very, very nice about spreading out his units here. I think he is going to be in a great position to be able to handle this. Looks like the damage is now being done. Baneling's coming in trying to do some damage there, but it looks like Sheth is going to be able to clean that up. Puma going to pick up 1 Marine and get the heck out of there. In the base of Puma, it looks like he is following up this aggression with a little bit of economy-based play. We do see that there is a double engineering bay in his base. We do see that this command center going to be coming down as well. Another barracks also on the way. That is going to bring his total number of barracks up to 4 barracks. 2 with reactor, 1 with tech lab, 1 with nothing at all yet, as it is still being constructed. We do see a starport now out on the field producing those medevacs in 2s with that reactor. Expansion pretty well up now, and notice Puma still continuing to be very, very active with these Hellions. This is something that he is being very careful to do, because those Hellions are what are allowing him to take this expansion right now. By taking map control and maintaining map control and keeping an eye on his opponent with these Hellions, look at this, even poking into the expansions, checking on bases frequently, then he's going to be able to know when his opponent's moving out, when his opponent is expanding, and that's going to let him know when he can start to take his expansions, when he can focus on getting more and more SCVs up, and when he should be focusing on getting up lots and lots of army units. Some Zerglings are now moving out across the field, though, and it looks like they are going to be able to pick off those Hellions. We do now see Burrow Tech is interestingly on the way here for Sheth, as well as lots of Banelings. Spire Tech is going to be completing here very shortly as well. Spire on the way. Baneling Nest is already completed, but Puma's moving out here with a lot of Marines here, and he's going to try to do some damage here, stimming forward, doing the nice little scan there to pick off those creep tumors, being very, very annoying. That's always very annoying for Zergs to have to deal with. A lot of lower level Zerg players, once you pick off their creep tumors once, it's kind of rare that they actually rebuild them. So the pros like Sheth are very good about respreading creep even when they lose it, but it's something that as a Zerg player you want to always be getting right back on that creep spread, and as a Terran player you constantly want to be pushing that back as much as you can. Looks like Puma is going to be loading up one more time, going to be going for another drop, just with one medevac this time. In the meantime, there's an Overseer that's going to be moving into the main of Puma, going to be able to see everything that's going on there, going to see that it is going to be heavy Marine play here from Puma. Siege tank play, spotted those factories as well, and now the Marines are going to be dropped down into the third. Sheth bringing in a lot of Lings here, reacting to this pretty quickly. If we check out the workers kill count, yeah, we can see that Puma has only killed 3 workers so far, but he is getting a lot of Overlord kills right now, as he picked off a few stray Overlords there. Puma with the current supply lead. Oh, medevacs! Oh man, that medevac was really close to coming down. Those Mutalisks were chasing it down, and I almost thought he might lose a couple of Mutalisks there, because that was a big pack of Marines there. If we check out these Marines, they are currently 1-1 in upgrades, 2-2 just now being started here. And in the base of Sheth right now, looks like Sheth finally, that he has, the fact that he now has these Mutalisks is going to mean that he can finally start to get a little bit aggressive here, as he's going to start to take this expansion here, going to start to expand like crazy. Another double drop is actually going on at the third of Sheth as well. Puma trying to be relentless with these drops, taking out a couple of Mutalisks, picking off some more Overlords, and Sheth just now reacting with lots of Lings and Banelings going to be coming in very quickly here, and Puma's doing a fantastic job of keeping Sheth on his toes. Notice Sheth has had these Mutalisks for a while, but he hasn't been able to move out at all. Sheth finally just now taking the aggressive move here as he's moving with these Mutalisks, but look at this Puma, not sparing for a moment. As soon as these Mutalisks start to move out, Puma doesn't even know about them yet, but he just wants relentless pressure on his opponent. We do see that he's going to be sieging up here, right on the edge of creep. Beautiful move here. Absolutely expect a scan to be going down here very soon to start to clean up some of those creep tumors. These Mutalisks now going to be forced to pull back. They did manage to pick off one gas geyser there, but now he's got a big threat to be able to deal with here. Lots of siege tanks, lots of Marines, and holy cow, those Marines are going to be shredding through those Mutalisks so fast. These Mutalisks are 1-0 in upgrades, but these siege tanks on the high ground are going to start to shell away at this macro hatchery, going to start to deal lots and lots of damage. Looks like Sheth going to be moving around to the center of the map, going to try to go for some kind of a big counterattack here, maybe even going to try to go for a big surround on all these tanks. Yes, we do see that all the Lings now moving down here, but holy cow, the Marine spread here is just a little bit too good from Puma, and I don't know if Sheth is going to be able to break this. So many Marines here. These Marines are about to be 2-2. Cleans up all those Lings. Still a huge number of siege tanks out here on the map for Puma. Currently 160 food to the 135 of Sheth, continuing to get more and more Lings and Banelings up, more and more Mutalisks coming out on the field as well, but Puma pushing forward very aggressively, starting to move into this third base here, and it looks like Sheth might try to go for another counter, might try to go for another surround here, might go for a counterattack. Looks like it is going to be a counterattack here as he's now moving around, seeing that Puma is trying to expand behind this, but in the meantime, Puma moving forward with lots of stimmed Marines, keeping a good siege tank spread. Sheth trying to do what he can to clean this up. Looks like he's going to be able to pick off some siege tanks. Thors are now out on the field here, but it looks like the forces of Puma and the macro of Puma is just a little bit too strong, as he is producing so many Marines behind this, and Sheth is going to GG out of Game 1, meaning Puma has taken Game 1, and we are now going to be jumping into Game 2 to see if Sheth can take his revenge on the evil geniuses Terran. So stick with me, guys. Game 2 of Puma versus Sheth coming up in just a moment.